Pupils in England who get poor results in their SATs exams at the end of primary school will face a resit in secondary school if the Conservatives form the next government. Under the proposals, pupils who leave primary school unable to read, write or add up properly will catch up with their peers by the time they're 12. I'm joined now by Education Secretary Nicky Morgan, and a very good morning to you. You wouldn't have to be doing this, would you, if things had been got right at primary school? Is it an admission of failure?
Well, this is about giving every child the best start in life, and it's about catching problems before children get much older. What we saw under the last government was that 1 in 3 primary school children were leaving that school unable to read, write or add up properly. That's now 1 in 5, so that's progress. We've got 100,000 more 6-year-olds learning to read more confidently, but there is more still to do, and that's why we're saying English and maths in particular are absolutely critical. They're the building blocks for future success in GCSEs, future success going forward in terms of getting a job or going to university, and that's why we're saying that those children who don't get to that right level when they leave primary school will retake slimmed down tests in year 7,
but
and they will receive
about
extra tuition and support in order to get to that right level.
But you're talking about 11-year-olds. Why are they not being identified and the issues dealt with before they leave primary school?
Well, they are in many cases, and as I say, we have made huge progress in this Parliament.
Not 100,000 of them, according to the Department of Education figures. 100,000 aren't being identified before they leave primary school.
Well, I think they are sometimes being identified, but the point is absolutely there is more still to do. There are still children who are getting to secondary school without being at the right level, being able to read, write and add up properly. This is all about raising standards. We know that, as I say, we've got 100,000 more 6-year-olds being able to read more confidently. We've got excellent qualified teachers, highly motivated professionals in our classrooms. They are making a real difference, but this is about catching those who do get to secondary school without reaching that right level. I think that's the right thing to do. That is setting our young people up on the right course for life. As I say, 7%
I'm sure people, if I may interrupt, would agree that those children do get a second chance to attain those standards. But isn't it the case, and teaching unions have talked about too much interference from the government, isn't it the case that you haven't got it right in terms of policy on teaching in primary school? Otherwise, we wouldn't have this issue.
Well, we have, and actually we've had a lot of changes in the course of the past 5 years, and one of those being the introduction of the new national curriculum, and we're seeing those changes work their way through the system. As I say, we're seeing, because of the phonics introduction, the way that children learn to read now, we've got more 6-year-olds able to read confidently. One would hope eventually, obviously, that these resets aren't necessary because all children are meeting the required standard when they leave primary school. We know that's not quite happening yet, and that's why we're committing to this today, in the same way that in this Parliament we have said that those students who don't get the right grade up to grade C or above at GCSE English and Maths will then go on to do that in post-16. I think it all points towards a drive towards higher standards, which is the right thing for giving every child the best start in life.
I just want to ask you about Labour's policy announcement on a non-dom tax status. Isn't it the case that Labour is more in tune with the public mood on this than the Conservatives?
Well, we have in this Parliament already clawed back £5 billion from aggressive tax avoidance and evasion. Non-doms are paying more, they're paying a higher levy than they've ever paid. The Labour Party had 13 years in power to crack down on this, and today there's a sort of fudged announcement where they say they're abolishing, but actually the small print would suggest they're not. They're potentially tinkering around the edges of the rules. And we have said very clearly in this Parliament, George Osborne, the Treasury, are absolutely cracking down on people who aren't paying their taxes here. And I think that's absolutely the right thing, a fair thing to do.
OK, Nicky Morgan, Education Secretary, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.